Welcome to Jesus Bible Study. We're going to be in the book of Psalms, chapter 104, verses 33 through 34. Verse 33. I will sing unto the Lord as long as I live. I will sing praise to my God while I have my being. 34. My meditation of him shall be sweet, and I will be glad in the Lord. And repeat those. 33. I will sing unto the Lord as long as I live. I will sing praise to my God while I have my being. 34. My meditation of him shall be sweet. I will be glad in the Lord. The more you meditate on God's loving kindness, the more you realize how good a Father is. Every day when we fellowship and communicate with God, we are exposed to other level of who he is. There is no way of getting to know more of God's nature won't have you jumping and singing praise. The same way King David sang God's praises in the book of Psalms. Now, there's a big thing to do with meditation. In the Bible, it does say to meditate. Meditate on his word. Meditate on it night and day. Here's what the meaning of that word meditate means. Study. Read it. Be in it every day. Yes, God would like for you to sit and meditate and be in silence. But you can't meditate and read the word at the same time. Unless you're listening to it on audio. But yes, and a lot of times where it's written in the word, in the scriptures, where it says to meditate, what it is really saying is for you to study. It's kind of like marinating. When they say you need to go sit and meditate on that. Think about it. Not only are you to read it, but you to think about it. So that you can understand what's being said, what's being told to you. You're not just hearing it. You're taking it in. You're trying to understand it. You're trying to acknowledge it. There's a lot of people that just read it and they don't get it. And it's just like in one ear and out the other. They're not trying to understand it. They don't want to understand it. They're not thinking about what it's actually speaking about. Because they don't really want to know. A lot of people wonder why they can't understand the Bible. Well, and if you're just going through, it's like, oh, you already got the mindset of, it's going to be hard to read, I'm not going to be able to understand it. You know, your mind is already set on not doing so. You can't do something if your mind's not actually set on it, really. You're going to be frustrated with it, you're going to be annoyed with it, you're not happy. Clear your mind. Get rid of these thoughts before you even go into reading the word. Make sure that you're focused. Pray. Pray before you read. God, show me what it is that you need to show me. Let me understand what you're trying to tell me, dear Lord. And meditation is good too, to sit in silence so you can hear God talking to you. Especially when you're fasting. You know, you want to stay in the word. You want to stay in everything that has to do with God. Which is reading and reading and reading. A lot of people just fast and then don't do nothing with their fasting. You're supposed to be constantly in prayer and constantly in the word. Otherwise, you're just kind of doing it for nothing. Besides good health, because it's very healthy to fast. It allows your cells to, correct themselves. And get rid of the bad ones that causes old age, diseases, cancer. Your body naturally heals itself. And it can rebuild itself. But if you want to hear and seek the Lord, you want something very important prayer to be answered, and you just don't think that you have the Holy Spirit in you, to do the healing, to heal your child who has cancer stuff, fast for 3 days. Stay in the word, constantly in prayer. Don't eat nothing, don't drink nothing. And constantly stay in prayer. If you're not praying, then you need to be reading that Bible. Trust me. That is the best way to get an answered prayer. Those who doesn't think they have the ability to do anything will then find themselves with the ability to do so. But now when it comes to the chakra, yes, God has the chakra and stuff, but here's another thing when it comes to the chakra and opening up all your 7 chakras and getting to the, what is the middle thing called when they say that when they get there? And they're like, once you open up all your chakra, you get to open up your what? 3rd eye. That is of the Satan. That is demonic. You're not supposed to do that. It is a trick of and the lie of the devil. It is of the new age, the new world kind of so what religion to keep you from the actual truth. You're not supposed to be sitting there trying to open up all your poor chakras and to do this and that. That is, and people's like, oh, but it's for health and it's the healing, and they have all these tones and they're like doing all this stuff, and even a lot of them even speak of God. But see, the devil too was an angel, and he knows those scriptures. He can quote the scriptures. The devil even has people who are fake prophets and prophetesses. You know, they know the scriptures. They know the word. If it's not in the Bible, if it was in the Bible to tell you to do so, it would say so in the Bible, but it does not. Yes, you are to meditate. Yes, you're supposed to pray. But you're not supposed to be summoning the demons and doing witchcraft by doing it. Yes, God is energy, and it's all about the energetic of the world, but you're not supposed to be sitting there. You know, just pay attention. If it don't feel right, and it seems a little bit too much like witchcraft, or a little bit too magical, or too much, you know, when they're trying to just all be spiritual. Yes, God is spirit. Yes, we all have this Holy Spirit in us, and things are of the Spirit. But that's still, you got to remember, the devil likes to imitate in everything that God does. So some things that you're doing spiritually is not of God. It is not of holiness. You're then turning yourself into witchcraft without even realizing that it's witchcraft. And then again, if it's something that you don't, you know, don't know, well, I don't know, this seems right. You don't have to take my word for it. You know, just say, ask, go to prayer, ask God. He will reveal it to you. God has no problem in showing you the truth. God has no problem of answering you. He has no problem in guiding you and giving you the light on which way to go. And trust me, I was a little bit fascinated. I thought it was, you know, oh, the Spirit, you know, when I was coming back into Christ, I was fooled a little bit for a little bit beginning part because of all the things that were spiritual, because I knew that God is a spirit. And so there's a lot of things that are spiritual. But then after a while, I was like, man, when I was building my relationship close with God, God was showing me this is not of me, my child. Don't go there. You're being tricked. The devil was trying to take you down a whole nother route. And if I would have stayed on that route, I would have been lost in the world of the spiritual world that would have had nothing to do with God whatsoever. And that's not what he called me to do. So you've got to be wise. Anything that you're not sure about, anything that you hear somebody say, like me, for instance, who's just now telling you that, and you're just like, well, I'm not sure about that. You need to be that way. You need to be skeptic. You need to go and seek God. That's what it says multiple times in the Bible. Seek me first. You don't have to argue with anybody. You don't have to sit there and discuss nothing with nobody. You don't have to believe anything that anybody says. All you need to do is get in that Bible. All you need to do is get on your knees and pray. And you do not have to be on your knees every time to pray. You could pray walking, standing up. Not everything is meant to be down on your knees to pray. Though it is very nice to bow down before your God. Just so you know that. So, and there's a lot of times I pray all the time, and you know, when I'm like, when it's dead something, I'm like, oh dear God, please help me. You know, I'm on my knees, so that he knows that, hey, this prayer is special to me. I'm in dire need. This is a 911. You know, I use that on my knees as a 911, but I'm talking to him all the time.